Neat.
Good afternoon, everybody. And welcome. Welcome to the going to order the meeting of Bucks County Board for Tuesday, February 27th, 2022. It's great to see so many people here in person. If you have anyone participating online, we've got 2 virtual participants today. We appreciate them participating as well. For those of you who are here and have not signed the guest book, if you'll do it before you leave, we appreciate it. That's our official record of attendance. And we want all of you to be listening. Fairly brief agenda today. Looks like we got a whole pile of SED ballots. More than I heard about this morning. Oh, yeah, the agenda. Speaking of the agenda, we have the agenda before everyone. Everyone had a chance to take a look.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Rosito. There's a motion before the board that will approve the agenda. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Thank you. Motion carries 5-0. Next up is the minutes of the last meeting on Tuesday, February 20th. Everybody get a chance to give those a once over, ask about Big Bird. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of February 20th.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Schultz. There's a motion before the board to approve the meeting minutes from February 20th. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0. Next up, Director Duncan, Office Updates.
Thank you. All right, I have a few updates for you all. The first is to just remind us of our schedule. We're going to be moving off of our Tuesday schedule and onto our election preparation schedule. So our next meeting is going to be on Monday, and that will be processing the provisionals that we received before Election Day. And then, of course, we will have our Election Day meeting, and there will be some changes because of law changes to how we operate that day. And Mary Ann Brain just pointed out that at 3:24 we received a press release from the State Board of Elections explaining some of that early voting. Because it's now an in-person type of voting and not absentee, we can't close those polls at the same time that we do absentee by mail like we usually do. So that will take us a little more time. And we'll be a little more hectic at 7:30 as if we needed to add more things to 7:30, but we'll be able to handle it. So we'll have to think about how we can change our processes to accommodate that. And then the next meeting that we will have after Election Day will be on Wednesday?
No, that's not a meeting, that's our sample audit.
Yes, that's not a meeting, but the next process that we will have. I'm surprised it's on Wednesday, I guess.
No, that's when the state board chooses the sample audit.
Oh,
Our
understood.
Sample audit is on.
Got it. That's okay. That's all right. We need to be accurate. So on Friday, we'll have another absentee meeting. And on that meeting, we will also be looking at any provisionals. If we have provisionals that have photo ID exception forms that need to be reviewed by the board, we'll do it that day too, so that we can handle, if voters need contacted, we can handle those early. Then we'll do our sample audit, and then our pre-canvass meeting on Thursday will be mostly provisional review, and then of course we'll have canvass on the 15th. So there's this like little dim light at the end of the tunnel right now. That's where we are.
Director Duncan?
Things are going well though.
Director Duncan?
Does that dim light say second primary? We'll see.
We'll see.
I've got a couple of questions. Just looking at calendars and things like that. So the 4th, what time is our meeting that day?
That's at 5:30.
At 5:30, okay, that works. And
Yes,
then
and that's at 5:30 because of the deadline is at 5. So
can't do
yeah.
anything till
Yes.
after. And then the next meeting is the 7th? No. Well, right, and then after that,
Friday the 8th,
and what time is that one, please?
it's at 5:30.
Thank you.
The Friday meeting's at 5:30. And how long do we think that'll go?
It just depends on how many ballots we
We're gonna
get
be
on
counting.
election day, yep.
Since I do have a conflict by 7:30, so somehow I didn't have this on my calendar, so we'll talk about that at some point. We'll count fast, okay.
We'll know how many absentees we get, and then we can figure out a plan to accommodate that.
Yeah, the provisionals piece on that Friday as well. That should be good too.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
All right,
Anyone else have any
and that's at 5:30?
questions? Yeah, it's 5:30.
Sample audit's gonna be where? Here? So
Yes.
we can come if we want to.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Sample lots at 10 a.m. on Monday, March 11th. Any more questions about that item? I'm guessing there's more elements to office updates.
There
but I
are.
could be wrong.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Sounds
Uh,
like you've been busy.
Yes. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was we've been doing media availability every Tuesday, and then we're going to do another one on Monday, and then 3 on election day. So we're going to try to have a lot of voter outreach on those days. The updates that I gave today, I feel like are really relevant. So of course, this is the last week of early voting. We're open from 8 to 7:30 all week, and then that last Saturday is different from any of the other days. We're open from 8 to 3 that day. And I've been sending updates about voter turnout to all of you, but we're seeing that predicted increase in turnout. We already saw that yesterday. That was our biggest turnout day, and I expect that to increase every single day till the end. And that Thursday and Friday are really our busiest days, so if you are a voter not wanting to see lines, then get out there before then. So we've seen more than 12,000 people turn out already for early voting. And the express vote is proving to be faster, more efficient. People like it, so I'm very happy about that. We talked about the changes for Election Day, and just a reminder that those are preliminary results. We'll be processing all the absentees we get on Election Day and provisionals afterwards during the canvass period, and then after you certify the election on that Friday, that is when results become official and we know who moves on to the general election. Today is the 27th. It's also the last day to request an absentee by mail ballot. This is tight turnaround at this point. So if you're wanting to do that, or if you have a ballot in your hand that you want to use this election, get those in the mail or turn them into our office or an early voting location, and a near relative can do that for you as well. Excuse me. Sorry. I've repeated this a lot. If you've missed the registration deadline, you can still same-day register during early voting, but only during early voting. And you need proof of residence or a bank statement for that. Those of you who are unaffiliated, you are allowed to vote in primaries in North Carolina, so don't miss that opportunity. And then lastly, if you're 17 years old, this might be your first chance to vote in an election. So if you're going to be turning 18 by November 5th, then you are eligible to vote, and we would welcome that. So those are some updates. The next thing, some of you have, probably all of you actually, have heard that there are 2 people who are running petition campaigns as unaffiliated candidates to get on the ballot in November. So as an unaffiliated, the avenue to be on the general election ballot is through a petition process, and there's different rules for each of the offices. So we have one person who is doing a petition for chair of Buncombe County Commission, and that person has reached the number of signatures needed. And then there's someone running for County Commissioner District 3, and they have not reached it yet. The deadline is election day for those
At
petitions.
noon on election day.
We had our second observer info session this week, yesterday, and so we have put out that information to both of the parties and any observers or anyone who is interested in doing that. So that is complete.
Excuse me, Director Duncan, could you please let us know what the attendance looked like at those sessions?
The first session earlier was bigger than the second session.
Ballpark? 100, 200?
I wanna say I heard about like 20 or so
Okay.
for the first session and closer to like 6 to 10 for the second.
Okay, thank you.
That's real ballpark.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. No, sorry. This one will seem a little out of place, but there have been some, gosh, I don't know really how to say this. So the state board has put out some information about scares of like substances found on absentee ballots in other states. And so we have done Narcan training for this office and for our warehouse, so that we have people from each floor who are trained in the Narcan opioid recovery kind of situation, and we have kits.
That's new, isn't it?
Yes,
I
we
was
have.
reading that, yeah.
Yes, so we have kits on this floor and on the second floor, as well as at the warehouse, and some people who train to use those. It's very simple, actually, and we'll train more people for that process in the after the election.
Can I just follow up on that? So you're saying that there have been people that have come in that are overdosing on opioids, or it's something on the ballot?
In the envelope.
It's in the envelope.
Just think of that anthrax scare back in
Yes.
2001.
So
That's what it
nothing
sounds like.
local, but it is a precaution that the state board recommended. So we
And that
have-
has happened somewhere in the United States?
Yes. So we've had and we have a very strong opioid recovery program here in
Mhm.
Buncombe
Yeah.
County, so we're taking
No, that's
advantage of
good.
the training that they have.
This used to be such a quiet gig, but now we've got Narcan trained staff. Wow. Thank you for that update. Any more?
Yes. Of the budget presentation, I give that to Avril, to the county manager, on Thursday. So that's gone through 2 rounds of assistant county manager review, and no changes were asked since I presented to all of you. So I will present that same budget that I presented to you all to Avril on Thursday, and I will report back to you what I hear from that. After last meeting, we had some discussions about some procedures in the absentee meeting, and there are some things that I want to suggest that we change. And so we can talk about that when Justin presents the absentee. But there's some things I think that we should turn around faster, so we'll talk about that in a bit. At least some of the board members were CC'd on a HAVA complaint that was submitted to the State Board of Elections, and they CC'd some county members. So I just wanted to make sure that all of you knew that the state was handling that response. So there's nothing that the counties need to do respond to that complaint. So you don't have to do anything. It's just for
Which
your
county was that?
information. Which county?
Which county?
It was not a county. It was an individual submitting a complaint to the state board, and they CC'd
Okay.
most of the counties, if not all of them. And I know some board members.
Yeah, I got it.
They had inquired about some of our registrations. They was on an attachment, and I didn't want to open the attachment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a complaint that happens often, and it's a list of duplicates, of like potential duplicates. And so we can't remove or merge records or anything outside of our standard process of voter list maintenance. And so that the state needs to respond to those. And then, actually the last thing I already covered was the state board release about the law changes. Are there any questions about what is happening or what's going to happen in the future that I can answer?
Yeah, right. Boy, do I have questions. Thank you, Director Duncan. A lot of information. Very busy time. All right, we are here for absentee ballot review. Mr. Tate, time to shine. I can't wait to hear about these changes in the process as we continue to strive for efficiency and accuracy.
Not monumental changes, since there are ballots that come in the mail that the board have to review, i.e. we've opened them, the ballot is outside the envelope. What Director Duncan and we have decided is, since the deadline for the election is coming up, it doesn't behoove us to wait an additional week in order to process those ballots. You're already opening them, evaluating them. We should just go ahead and process them during the meeting. So in other words, again, these ballots that I'm going to hand to you, they need to be checked for signature, the two witnesses or notary, and then the ID requirement. But if we do that, then we can accept the ballots and we will run them as we normally would, and you would sign off. On the new sheet, whereas before we had just said approved, if one does happen to come back, like if it's missing a signature or something like that, we'll sign it disapproved and then hold it to the side, and hopefully we can get that cured before election day, or at least reach out to the voter and let them know that they can either vote early voting up until this weekend or election day. So that's our new procedure. Like I said, I'm going to split you guys into two groups. Like I said, it's just like a normal ballot review. Go through it. The only difference is most of the time the voter has just left the ballot on the outside, or in some of these instances they've made notation where we've reached out to them and they've said, oh, my ID is in the envelope. It's those cases. And I've notated it on the ballots, but I will go ahead.
So what Justin has said is correct. So the idea is that waiting for the next week is just too long. There's no reason to do that. Now, one thing to remember with these, however, is that all of the other ones have gotten a full review by staff before you have seen them. So it's been okay if you wanted to spot check those, although I think that you have been looking at all of them. But these ones, we need to make sure that we're really reviewing them, because if the ID is inside the envelope, staff hasn't been able to look at that. So make sure that you're doing a thorough review of these. And I believe that all of these are the envelope situation. But this category would also be if there was some situation that we felt like we couldn't rule on, couldn't give you a recommendation for, and that we would want the board to decide. We haven't had that many absentee ballots. You usually have to have a big a number of them to run into that situation, but we might see it in November. So this is sort of the board review category. And I like that because it will fit for November also. So now we have 5 categories. Hopefully we don't have more than 5 categories, but it'll keep us organized. And then since we're reviewing an opening, we talked about we ran across a ballot that had something written on the back last time. So I do think that we should pull out the ballot and give it a quick look over.
Or
and-
arbitrary.
Yep,
For
yep.
like, for just something scribbled somewhere
Yeah,
outside
right.
of the colored marks.
Yep, or, if there's an overvote that's obvious that needs some voter intent,
Got it.
look at all, those. I am worried about speed. So, we'll have to get into some kind of rhythm to make those, and it'll continue that there's review after you as well. So if there's something that we see, we'll bring it back out to you.
I just have with respect, and this gets ahead of what we're doing right now, but with respect to reviewing the photo IDs or the exception forms, do you want us to look at all of them?
So for these ones, I want you to look at all of them because they haven't been fully reviewed. But for the other ones, they've been reviewed by a team. And so you're welcome. If it were me, I would spot check them. But you're welcome to look at them, but we have already done that. That's
Well, one of the reasons I ask is I haven't found any issues with any of them. They've all been perfect, so.
yes, yeah.
I thought since the review is so good, I'm wondering if spot checking would be okay every 5th or 10th one, something like that.
Totally acceptable.
Okay.
Okay. Justin, I think it's showtime.
Do you want to check or do you want me to?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and, so.
Check them first and then we'll go through some
Yeah.
check.
Yeah,
So we hit,
it's not there. It's indicated inside.
so we do accept it, right?
Not yet. We'll
Not
have,
yet.
we'll have to make sure that the ID is.
Okay,
ID is,
okay.
One additional thing that this step will hopefully help us with this election, but definitely in the general, is with the resolution that if ballots are
This is the same
mismatched,
name.
the last time, we didn't. The two ballots were in the same meeting, they just were never in the same batch. So if we had taken this step, then those two would have been paired up. Instead, we had to spoil and
You
reuse.
just sold your own to do approach.
So,
That's all it's.
Accepted.
Yes.
Got some copies.
Sign and date on them.
These go back in the do-all,
So you can do all the work on this.
Oh, the ID.
Yeah.
Just put it on the outside. Like I said, that's about to get, that's the
that's what I
important
said.
part. It's going to get scanned.
Put the do-all.
yeah.
So this is signature. Was it in there or did they just say they had?
See, that was fast. Plenty of time. As a note to Matt for the duplication team, we will have dinner with you guys.
We're gonna make us work for this one.
Say, yeah. Food.
Okay.
We're looking at twice the ballots that we did last time, so we'll be here a bit. Yeah, our percentage for out return is
Check the numbers.
getting close, or it's getting closer.
See,
This particular
About
one,
36% on the return
see, they
rate.
vary. It's like they can't vote for 3, that's a hundred vote. We're looking mainly for
That's higher than it
overvote.
was
You
last
check
week,
to see
so
how
hopefully,
they
and people get more,
Well, let's
more
double check
interested
them.
as to like
This is the
that.
first one.
Where you want to pick that?
See, this is the first one.
That's the first one we got.
Wait a minute, we're not to that one yet. This is the second one.
Yeah, okay.
And we got some undervotes, but that's not what we're looking for.
Which one's that?
So it's approved.
This one was resealed.
That always gets me tickled
Sure
when
that's all
someone's
right.
photocopying. You're sitting plus.
Okay, that one,
I guess it was not sealed.
Should it bother me that he's got it?
Yeah, Justin,
Yes.
so he's from Tennessee.
Should it bother me that he's
It's okay.
he's from around
Let me
here.
check and see what his registration name was.
Around here.
What was the name?
Yeah, looks like it.
it wasn't sealed. Okay,
Okay.
nothing weird.
CB member?
Yeah, we can, okay, what is it?
1618, yes.
You like this?
Oh, I need that one. Okay, this must be the same thing, pending board. To be honest, I wondered why we weren't doing this before, because we were just sticking them back in there.
Yeah, no, the,
Okay.
No, let's do the next one.
2020. Date of birth is
PBR.
let's see.
Another PBR.
Okay, you're gonna have to look here because it's cut off.
No, I said insert the ballot. He didn't seal it.
Justin,
Yeah, can we pull this?
yeah. He has a number of years on that one.
You like this?
Set her date of birth?
It's okay, it's within the 90 days.
How many, you said how many years from here that?
8.
Huh?
8 usually.
8 years from which date?
Issue date. So he's got, they're okay.
Okay, because we couldn't quite read this. This one expires in 2020.
This is her birthday.
No, there's your issue date.
Oh,
Second
2020.
2020, so 8. You got 4 more years.
Okay,
Oh, okay, okay.
actually with the birth date on there, I think it would have worked anyway.
The license is 8
So,
years.
Yeah,
Didn't
they
know
had
that.
changed that one.
so here you
So,
go.
check this.
CIV.
Okay,
Get the license name match.
You signed one without Jake's signature.
Okay,
Joyce King.
yeah, that's
Joyce
good.
King. Okay, quick look. Nothing untoward.
Okay, yep. We'll make a stack of those, and make a stack of these, and make a stack of those. Here, we didn't put those up like this. We'll get you these started. Unnecessary. Did you want us to just put
Today's
these memory
26.
things?
Oh, we got one more. Oh,
One more.
okay.
No, that was it.
There you
This
go.
envelope goes with that one.
227.
Duck's calling.
They actually want to talk to me. Stop that. I don't know, caller ID. You know, it's my car warranty. Car warranty, it's expired. It's always my car, for that matter. They've all expired.
Warranty has expired, our car is ejected.
Or they're towing it.
We know it, we know it.
I don't know my name.
Your name or your address? It's not signed.
All right, good. Thank you much. Those are done. If you want to make a motion to accept those ballots. And ran.
All right. Colleagues, thank you for reviewing those 8 envelopes. I would entertain a motion to accept the envelopes that you just reviewed. Thank you, Ms. Brain. There is a motion before the board to accept the 8 ballots that you just reviewed. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0.
Okay, up next, military overseas. There are only 2, so I will just divide this amongst the 2 groups. Make life easy. Remember, these have just been duplicated. All you're doing is checking to make sure that the CIV or the military number matches that on the ballot, and then signing and dating here. Here's your sheet. You want me to sign that?
Okay.
Let's sign it from procedure.
See the name?
That. Away we go. I'll let you start the signature. Fun for all.
Okay. Need to match this one. There it is right here.
Everything
At the
matched.
top.
Yeah.
Good. There. And if you'll both sign a date.
Right here.
Yeah, that's what you're in charge of signing.
There's where you sign.
Both need to sign.
Okay, what is piece one?
Nice try.
That was this one.
We actually saw it. Do we need to sign the other one too?
No.
The privacy waiver.
Down the line.
Consider this yours.
More for you. That's everybody's. Just get those together. If you'd like to make a motion to accept those, speed this along.
Colleagues, you got through those 2 ballots. Well done. I would entertain a motion to approve the 2 military ballots that were just reviewed.
Make the emotion.
Thank you, Ms. Stein. It is so good to have you back here in person to make motions and other fun things. There is a motion before the board to accept the 2 military ballots that were just reviewed. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0. Moving right along.
Up next, overseas. 17 of these have been duplicated. There is one that was returned by mail, so it will be the oddball on the stack. I don't know exactly where it is in this. This one? Okay. So,
Look at,
same as the second verse, same as the last verse.
there's how many of these?
There's 17, well, there's 18 of them total. So, it's the same procedure as we just did, so we'll let you carry on.
Which one are we starting on?
Okay. Here's your name. Do you have the name on there?
Yeah.
This first one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You don't have that, then have us here, we just got it now. Right, that's how we are.
See.
I just took a walk up Sunset.
Is that the precinct?
No, it's different. The first one's the precinct, so it's 2.1.
Don't need to worry about that. I just need to go like that.
That's
And usually,
Okay.
and we need to.
It's a little
like a
off.
routing, or it's not a routing
Good.
number, but
All right, good.
the precinct code versus.
Okay.
That's correct. No, good. Next one is Davis.
Do you have this name?
Yep. Second on the west.
You should have a 29.2.
Costa Rica.
No, I'm sorry, 44.1. Okay.
That was stapled and clipped.
You can pull these apart and just face them. They're gonna have to be face down anyway. Make your life easier. So just pull the clip and just check it. Face down.
Lots of undervotes. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Undervotes on that one. We'll check this first one. Same thing. It's just voting for president.
Page 44.1.
Okay.
Your next one is negative 46.
Did you see?
Yeah, I'll just.
Your next one is
Sally, the takeaway from that is don't play poker with this guy.
Right, I would not.
I don't even know how to play.
Okay, I take it back.
That's what they all say.
That's Lorenzo.
That's what they all say.
Yeah.
This is my first time. What's this one do?
Is this the one you were talking about?
That is the one, I guess, so you'll have to open that one up.
Returned? Got that name?
Yeah, it's on here.
Yeah.
Show me how it works.
Right?
You know, purposely innocent ways.
Yeah. Two names there.
Claim for money, which was even more humiliating. What they should have known, at least
Right.
Okay.
brains are
This one, I have to make sure it's readable.
And George, his father was an itinerant farmer. So they never had anything to do with cards. And my father insisted that all the children learn what he knew.
Okay, make sure this
She
part
picked up the game and over there.
matches.
Even though she didn't grow up on the They all learned how to play cards. And that family's a card playing family. She did.
This one wasn't duplicated, so.
It's done the old fashioned
I
way.
mean, my kids can do that too, but,
Yeah.
but she, you know, she's the master.
Right.
They think it's weird.
Is that one? That's interesting. Okay, it's printed.
Sure.
I don't know. But I don't know any couples where they both work. It's not, it's much more evenly distributed.
I think that's right.
And there was a time when people had time, that's what they did.
And they didn't have TVs to watch.
People were
Got it?
conservative.
It's okay with me, we'll turn it over.
Really, yeah. Portland. Lives there, have their
completed.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, colleagues. That was 18 civilian overseas ballots that were just reviewed. I'd entertain a motion to approve the 18 civilian overseas ballots.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Schultz. All those in favor of the motion to approve 18 civilian overseas ballots, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Thank you. Motion carries 5-0. Moving right along.
Duplication team, assemble. All right, David, you're Republican. All right, so we'll put you on this side here. We'll pull a chair over. Let's see. Democrat.
I need a Democrat. I need a Democrat.
Come on over here. Let's see. We're going to Republicans and Republicans.
Let's get this out of your way. Okay, well, it's the truth. This book is the truth.
Hello, Mr. Schultz.
Hi, tell me your name.
Francis
Oh,
Corbin.
Francis, that's right. I'm sorry.
No.
You were here
problem.
a couple of weeks
You
ago.
slept a little bit since then.
Yeah.
Good evening. We work together another time.
See what we have here.
Now, he's only dodging it this round. Now, the next round, you get your own participant. Good. Just don't want you to feel left out. All right. Now, a reminder to the board, again, Mr. Schultz brought this up, we have reviewed these. So these are just the ID exception forms. We have looked for signatures, we have looked for the witnesses. So if you'll let her call.
Yeah, when you sign things.
You're gonna be the caller, and you got a pen, we'll give you,
I need to go get my pen.
this nice lady
I'll
next
get
to
her.
you. So you just, you can check.
We started something here.
Oh,
when
that's,
we were
it
going
looks
to
like it's
sign
Farouk.
Oh, and date my signature. Now everybody hates their signature.
So it would mean Farouk.
Where we're starting.
And that one, yeah. That was
Is that a Matt
blank
team?
piece of paper. He was paralyzed, not
I'm
able
gonna show you this.
But you can borrow one of these.
Yeah, that's fine. It
Matt
just
team
helps.
ballot.
There you go.
Matt
Okay, you
team.
look at
Yeah.
this, that you like that, you look
It's
at
not
that,
where we're starting now.
and you look
Usually,
at
and
that,
Young man.
and looks okay
it's
so
precinct
far.
36.1.
So,
So
let's
check
have
your
a,
precinct. Does,
Well,
now I get this
because
smack.
they all look about we're
Only
starting
thing I really
gotta
36.1.
check every, just check every fit.
Said, just place the ballots face down, alternating precinct.
Okay.
We're good to go.
Start right there.
You'll be smack free. Okay, now let's see.
Young lady.
Monday's last name now, I'll do my job.
CIV
Okay, good morning.
matches, and the ballot matches.
So,
And you're gonna look at, you're gonna flip it over. I'm putting you in charge of looking over it, and you're just looking for things that look strange to you. And if you don't see any, then I'm gonna go ahead and sign it. That one work? Okay.
Read that.
signature.
Okay. Now, what do you think about Morris? Okay. You good? Okay.
And I did vote for some. It looks okay.
What we're doing with these differently this time is we're just gonna take a brief look at ballots, make sure there's no craziness. There's undervotes here, that's not gonna matter, the overvotes is what we're concerned about. And let's ask Justin about this. Justin, is that gonna be a factor?
No, we should be able to read that.
Okay. That's what we're looking for. When you think what were you duplicate? We'll check the next name.
Tell me if you want. If you
All I have to do is
tell me that too.
The only time it's questionable is if it's just like an X, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. There you
Name's good.
Just look okay.
Oh, Higgins, sorry, I was looking for Philip.
Make sure they at least have a signature here. And these are marked. found that other one, watch it.
Look at the.
Quick glance. Nothing crazy.
Okay. You marked her name, okay.
Schneider. Good.
Check.
This is right in your wheelhouse.
I'm bad for stuff.
No. I defer to staff on, for your subject
Absentee
matter.
ballot is missing a signature that they must have connected.
Must have. Oh,
Oh, no, it's not there. It was marked in that for our,
that's what that is.
Machine, will pick it up.
they signed here. So
Oh, that must be.
I was thinking.
Yeah, well, I might get mixed up, you just need to tell me not to do that, but my plan is, yeah, I don't want to,
Certification.
I don't want that, the last thing to do
This
is
is the one. Okay, so the certification is gonna stay with this. It's got to. Okay, very good. There's name on this one.
Oh, we're supposed to separate these out by precinct, I'm sorry.
so far, they've been all the
Yeah.
same.
Oh, they're all
And
29.2.
we're almost-
Will you tell me when we switch? Okay.
all right. Which one was it? Farouk was, yeah. And then the others were the same. And now you're getting ready to cross into a new one right here.
No. Oh, no, we'll turn them when we get there. I think most of these are gonna be the same. You okay on that one? Yeah, the kids are changing precinct. Okay, that's four. Check fourth.
And she could not sign. That witnessed that. I don't want to digress, but that young woman, she's probably 30.
Oh,
That just did
oh,
it.
well.
Yeah.
She would tell
We
me how to
didn't.
read
That's
it.
probably
She
why
would
she
tell me how to
did it.
Put it
vote,
down.
and that
Yeah,
everyone
no,
she would tell me.
that's okay.
She was so excited to vote. It just made my day.
Good for her.
Reminder everybody that we do have open mic conversation.
We're in a new one, yeah,
Being recorded.
2022.
This is, there's several in this, quite a few.
Okay,
That's the
there
last
you
one
go.
in this precinct.
Just gonna check that. Okay.
Oh, they're still the same. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Justin, this is outside.
This is
You can keep an eye on it to see
Okay.
if it'll
read it. If not, it'll kick it, should kick it out.
My whole thing is where you can see them.
It can see
Okay.
these.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm wondering if
yeah, I'm
these
concerned
issues
because these are the marks.
You okay with
that
that?
actually-
She,
put
I-
a
it's-
paper
the
clip
witnesses
off of it.
didn't
Yeah,
print their
because see,
name,
these aren't really
but I
dark
can
either.
make it out.
They're a little bit light.
We need to
You
duplicate.
can
So
tell
you're
which
okay with
ones you
that?
wanted.
You're
but
okay with
they're
it?
not
You
super
can recognize
She
the,
did it right here.
okay, all right.
Well, this is what I'm concerned about, because it's actually a mark outside there, and the machine might kick that.
I'll make sure they see that one and that
Okay.
one. So if it doesn't, if it kicks it, we'll bring it back out for duplication.
No, you do that. Open it up first.
The rhythm.
I didn't do that either.
Signatures, this is a map too. Same signature.
I've never torn a ballot with an opener, but I've seen it done. It's not hard to do.
I'm actually glad to see that some people voted in certain races because they made a choice. Still the same precinct. Signatures. Looks like map to Hopkins, so.
That sound. That.
Bless you.
Yeah, let me just make sure I signed and dated all these.
The last ones that was printed.
Okay.
Yes.
You can't see through it? Did you get
Oh,
that?
wait, just help them. Yeah, okay. Appreciate it.
You checking to make sure I signed the initials and all, and making,
If you see anything on these, just.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. I'm
Yeah,
just
we're
looking at it still.
Yeah.
So this
We-
one
we
has
got
to-
That's
ways
all
to
one
go.
precinct.
Same precinct.
One
Starting, yeah, we're starting a new one.
And these are all good. Okay, maybe one on this next one. Martin, Otten, Stewart.
And the last four.
No. You can't read it upside down.
Well, Rowdy over there.
Yep. 18 and more.
For this, yeah.
No, actually, I got one more period after that.
There's only one in that.
Okay.
one also.
After this one.
We'll just get them in there faster if we let them know. This is correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, here's the last one. This is just your basic.
So
It's not
nobody
an app, right?
says
No,
anything.
right,
Okay.
that's right. See, it's okay. It's just, yeah, I know. No, 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 you, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Alice Elizabeth Brown.
Only special people get this. Okay, there you go. Okay, good, thank you. Okay. Patenote.
So this one's like that.
I'm kind of almost Italian.
Yeah.
Patenote. If you spell it right, then it sounds Italian. Sound it
So
out.
was that one by itself, the one before that?
Note is night.
So it's that one, 41, this is,
This
thought
next
he
one will be
grabbed
the
that
same
one.
thing. Samuel Jess Brown.
This is 45 also. That's the same
You're looking at
thing.
this with me to make sure I didn't forget.
Same last name.
Because I'm expecting to see my signature on them, so you need to not expect to see my signature.
These are just witnesses that there was no
Alright,
change.
there you go.
Does that one have to be different?
That.
Oh, okay.
That.
That. I wasn't sure that one would go.
Reach. That. Wait a minute. Where am I going to sign it? Here we go.
That's a 45.
45.1. Just some. The next one will be a one and done also. We're gonna polls next Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Long done.
I know. I think Nick
Is it
Here, Clay, I'm gonna let you send these around. They're not done over there.
that's, That's 42.1. That's the only one?
Which one was that? 52.1? Yeah, that's the only one. Martha Moo.
Another, that whole pile.
Problems
So
there.
that's a new one. That's one by itself.
Okay. Yeah, this,
Yeah.
Really, where do you look at? Oh, the original old-timey Inca Village. Oh, that's so cool.
They scan it, but they don't tag it until election day.
fill out everything.
It's worked in the plan.
Social Security and everything.
It's for location now. It's a mixture of both.
Yeah, what we do here is very different from what goes on.
I haven't been through there in
And
many years.
that's 76, one all by itself.
But you know, if every state is like this, I don't see where all the problem comes from.
They're over, yeah.
There's some
They're over by Lightning Lane.
And those are the ones that,
very
they
good
look like a Dutch row house,
for me.
but they're out,
But they're individual.
they're individual. individual, which I wonder what, when they showed up and everybody was so proud to make them a house that looks exactly like what it looks like.
And that one did go through.
It is?
But we still have one we have to duplicate.
Okay, well,
Yeah, that's your basic company house, but.
it looked like it
but
right
those-
on.
It was those Dutch houses that
Could
got
be.
my attention. I was like, holy cow. I mean, it's like, aren't
Yeah.
where they,
Not anymore now.
are they taking that?
Well, they've added on. So it doesn't give you the.
Yeah. But just, there was always, wasn't many of them like that. I mean, there was- So,
Is that missing
and it's
Steve or Sally?
No.
I'm not sure.
I think that's
Somebody
Sally.
Probably needs to be missing on there.
Well, we still need to duplicate.
So, I don't know what you,
Yeah,
what you're
same
trying.
thing, I think that's Sally.
I did I put an autograph of those way many years ago, back in the 80s. And I remember.
Who are you working on for election day?
I think Sally's.
I remember we were up in Jack
I think we
Stevens.
talked, you don't know much about North, do
Way
you?
back, you know, when
I
he
drove
was in
around
that,
to the different
in that old building on Walnut.
precincts.
And the view is
Sally
west from the
Trying to
South
remember
Side.
where Brookstone goes.
Big church,
Sellers
Flat Creek
now
exit,
was
You
Goop
turn
Turtles.
Which exit?
Flat Creek,
And he was going
where you would go to North Buckham High School.
You know, we drove out to North Buckham High School and then the middle
So,
school. I guess we.
I
It's
don't
in
know what
between.
the subject.
High school, this is in the middle
Because it's
school,
a
and
beautiful
Brookstone's
fall
in the
day.
middle, kind of.
Big,
Big church.
Some that are milder
than others, or some that are alert, but
He kind of reminisced.
We saw 5 or 6 that day. And it's like, the middle school and the high school, both precincts. I forgot. I think they are.
Yeah.
If I recall, but I'm not 100%
Bridge
sure
too
about
far.
that.
More go on that address. There's some houses that go,
New community
because
center.
we get some that go.
Every
We
parish
that's
had a
why you had
different
something
color.
like
There's
certain people
a
that say,
precinct down there, you went down Williams Creek
Oh,
Road and
right.
kind of cut off, and it was kind of a small, kind of smallish church up
So
on the
they
hill.
marked
Is that it?
unless you.
No, different down Main Street, that's a different one.
Yeah, it's different.
In fact, that's where my son
They're actually,
The luxurious table over there, we've got
And that was all we had to see about it. But after that was
So
a
you
little
want
bit
to
of
gutters?
experience for a
We need to
12-year-old.
adjourn, so it's-
Yeah, over to the
as long as it's
Democrats and Republicans. Primaries are always easy.
Yep.
Sometimes
Yeah.
they'll say, oh, which
Oh,
one takes
primary's
one.
all confusing for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're gonna get to duplicate.
There we go. We did run the reviews. And I'm gonna duplicate some copies.
Got my own.
All right. Francis, I'm gonna let you mark this. You've done this before. David, you're good at calling, so I'm gonna let you call again and just observe. And so it's just the one. That's it. So if you guys wanna go ahead and get started, that's it. Get your autographs. There you go.
This is a tough one because those, the rest of those are skips. They're skip. So that's the only thing we've done for them.
When do we post, is there a date that we post the officials for election day?
That was when we approved the election officials 2 years. The election day people are the election day people for 2 years.
Even if they change, if there's no update. And then I just changed.
I'm sure. 240 people, they're good. And Karen Ray moved changes on, I don't know.
Yeah, I asked for an update on the list when she gets it. She's busy and I know she's crazy, but.
I get to do my little flag.
If we don't, those are still set up right here. Even though we don't publish them. If the changes, like who? Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. I have to do one of your type updates this weekend. At our convention. They want me to do an update, so.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your help. Yeah, I'm string mark your potatoes. It's just a fluff.
My, how time flies.
All right, colleagues, thank you for reviewing those 73 civilian absentee by mail ballots that had exception forms. I would entertain a motion to accept those 73 ballots.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Aceto. There is a motion before the board to accept the 73 ballots with exception forms. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0. And in just a minute, we will dig into the main course. Yes. That includes all of them.
Usually we have to tell the board to be quiet, but this time it's
They're rowdy. Gotta love them.
All right, you guys would like to vote?
We just did it.
Oh, did y'all? Fair enough. Carrying on.
They're right. Couldn't hear it over the din.
Oh,
Okay, what's next?
okay, everybody back with your person.
Back with your person.
With your person.
All right, welcome back.
This is the main course coming here.
Where's the idiot proof the microphone? I thought that was hilarious. You know what? That's very helpful. That's like, I can't remember what song it was on.
On to the meat and
Did I
potatoes
start
of
with
it.
it? Oh, yeah. No, no,
First
no.
9 pages.
What's that? Yeah, yeah. do a nice job.
To them, these totals don't add up.
That's not all, is it? What's special about it? You just broke these into bite-sized chunks.
That's it.
Wow. Yeah, that's, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
A grin. Okay. All right. You starting with a C. Klein, are you there?
And H.
Okay, what do you think of her? Okay, and then when you go through these, I just make sure that.
Set a reminder that we have checked IDs on all of these, so
Oh, okay.
you should be pretty close to just going.
Just gonna check it with that line.
Yeah, first, again, that's what we're starting.
I have been fooled before.
And matches, okay.
Somebody else called.
Spot check.
Enjoy.
You're still checking.
Try to be.
What do you got?
Does that count?
Whoa, yeah, that's it. Justin, we have a stray mark. What do you think? Think that's gonna fit you? Okay. Good, you get the A for the day for noticing.
Tell me when
As long as it's not in
switch
the
precincts.
the only areas that I would use in these are where it's going to catch it for the most part. That's what you're really looking for.
What do you think of this?
Yeah, some of these copies do. Color copies. Odd marks. Same precinct.
Good.
27. And it is like the old 36 one.
Yeah, I don't wanna do that. I wanna do this.
This is the last one for Stephen Allen Waldorf.
There we go. 16.2.
Oh, she was in
This is the last one for 36 one.
Yeah, that one.
You can
That's
put
one,
your-
that's one. Peter and Keith Malley. Now what I get.
Yep, I'm on 17.1.
Got it?
I do.
No, no.
Uh-oh.
Put that one aside, right?
That's 37.1.
Justin,
There's only one of those.
Justin, we've got a non-CIV match.
Oh, here, that's the only one. This can go.
Is it- No wonder.
Over to it.
Let's see if I can, let me grab my list.
Okay. It's different. It's on Leslie Drive.
Yes. 37. Another one of those.
There's more. 38.2. So, William Christian Baldwin.
It's confusing.
Hold it to the side, and then if we come across another one, we'll check it, see if it's the same household.
Okay.
I believe these are Gibbons people.
How is that? Is that where Wesley?
They're the same address.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it.
We can vote it still on the same one.
Look for 180 Wesley Drive.
Or they'll,
Okay. We flagged it. Right here in front of
while
me.
you're doing that, I'll look up and see if I can
Yeah.
find.
You must not have had it renewed yet.
Okay.
This happens sometimes when we get one and it lasts 8 years and it's still this different and they want it.
Mystery not solved.
Oh, well, there's
Same
gotta
precinct.
have a few that show up. This looks like a cure.
This was Herman.
Didn't sign it, so their signature. Gentleman signed. Okay, so.
Still 48.2.
Just check this documentation.
Is that what you're worried about? Would that knock it out?
I don't know. I think that's probably just no, but an unmarked box. But I just want to ask him.
Justin? Should I mark this one?
That's probably okay.
You think it's okay?
Yeah, that's probably
Okay,
okay.
that's just a little sloppy. is
Justin,
all.
just a quick question. It just looks like an
Okay, let me get this one first and I'll come down.
unmarked. I just
Dead doesn't, it won't catch it.
okay.
Baskin Chesney Road.
Okay. So that's one that was dead.
I say, it happens.
11:23. Okay. He'll even make it through the general.
Check one of these every so often.
Expired within a year,
It's a current
No, I
driver's
mean, it's
license.
actually after election day in November.
but it was 23.
That's good.
So hush. Ooh.
How old is he?
Yeah, let's see. 43, he's fine.
Gotten so used to looking at these driver's license, I said 18, 19.
Did I?
Then I just realized mine expired this year.
Oh, I shredded.
Same precinct, yes.
34.
Next one's
Yep.
Thailand's, I'm sure.
Yep, that's a duplicator. Voter intent.
Justin, I shredded one.
Got another one we gotta duplicate?
Yeah.
Thought it was this.
You got a voter intent.
What happens with that?
They just do.
Which I already, shoot. I
That was
already,
that was.
you already signed it.
If I give this to you.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay, do you need this envelope?
As long as you signed off on it.
I have. Okay. All right, there you go.
You okay with that?
Still an 18 kid.
You've already agree that it's okay, we'll just.
Okay.
Oh, yes, 17.
It's okay, that, no, that's, okay.
That one looks good.
That's why I had that little ritual slapping.
I liked it when we had the dark pencils.
We're still on 29.2.
We are.
Eliminate possibility, but. Okay, now we have the notary. So let's make sure the notary date is prior to that date. And we'll make sure that the notary,
Well, you mean the commission?
no,
It always surprises
sign
me
it,
when
because we don't want them signing it before it showed up.
young
The notary's
people
got to sign.
mail.
Here's the form
The
on
notary's
it.
who has to have complete information, so.
And this is the same.
To mark his name.
And after this,
To mark
we're
his
okay. Yeah, we don't care.
Still 38.2.
But he did the seal. He sealed it.
First one.
Says it was here for him.
It's torn on,
Authorized.
The date
that was torn on
Very
the
often.
for
crease.
that. And it's signed.
That might,
Happy?
I'm gonna put a clip on that one. See Justin, I was telling him about it. If it catches the wrong way. Justin? This one was torn on the crease.
Ooh, we'll probably have to do
You think you will? That's why I marked it. I wasn't sure if it'd go through or not.
Put it with the other one.
Okay.
You know I know.
Machines sometimes, it's such a high-speed machine.
They had to do
If
something
it
with
catches,
it.
it'll
And I've seen other people like Rick, like I used to be
Oh,
president of
okay.
Profields, that's all these spiffy people. Hospital, I've seen several interesting people. Architect, he was president, well, he was a witness, to one of these things.
You checked from. Sign.
Is this last one?
That's
that
well
was
said.
It's complete, okay.
I didn't realize we had no. It's new, I think, on our ballots.
I feel like we haven't made a dent in this pile.
Well, the zip code probably is different also.
It's current driver's license.
These all one precinct still.
Yeah, we're still on 29.2.
These have been, do you think the whole thing was starting to move
You see that's not going, my brain is getting out of gear.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
We've got
Okay.
clean ballot.
Yeah, I bet that's a switch.
Pull that one out.
Okay, let's check this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is there. 8.
Yeah, she's supposed to be away.
You okay with that? Okay.
You know exactly what happened there.
Jason Hall. Maybe it's a husband.
I bet you it is. What was the previous one? Don't tell me we missed it.
This is Yolanda Johnson. No, that one. Just
Got it, okay.
716.
9/8. mismatch.
This will be the last one.
I'm not seeing that we've got a,
Not the same name.
no, I'm not seeing a name or address, 16 Southbury. No. Okay, I'm not seeing that anywhere. Wait, whoa. Hang on, look at this. What's that one?
That's
Not even close.
Close enough to in print.
See if it appears.
You don't have any issue with that? Okay. No.
Three and 3 cents. What's that say?
That's 38.3.
Last one. That's the end of that percent.
You noticed that last time, so you got another big red star next to your name.
See, if you stay on the outside of the envelope, then you can't get what's inside the envelope.
So we've got 6 of these in the same precinct. This next one's the last one.
For 29.2, okay. You got the name?
There it is.
Justin, we've got a precinct here. Just check these. Can I give you some of these envelopes just to get them out of the way, or do you want me just to keep stacking them?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Take them out of the way.
Okay.
Close enough for government work. This is government.
That's good. Okay.
They switched these.
You got the name.
Okay, tell me again, I got a switcheroo.
Okay.
Not that one, no, we think it's gonna be
What?
same name.
That hasn't been signed yet. You want me to sign it? Yeah. the same.
Let's do the last one and this.
Right, that's what I'm doing. Wait a minute. First of all, tell me you like
Regular
that.
minimum size plan.
And then let's do the. Yes. But I haven't signed it yet.
But if they're
Trying to
the
be
same-
disciplined and not sign them, but, you know. Okay, so there you go.
This is the last one in that precinct.
Okay.
So here we have 16. Oops, that's it.
That's it, okay. So, hey, what do you want us to do, Justin? It
We got-
matches.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, make
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Okay, and I don't need
Okay,
to
so
do
wait.
anything but initial.
Wait,
Can I look that over?
16 is one. We'll put 16. No, 16.
So we're on to a
I
different
could
precinct.
smell it.
Yeah,
I could
30.3,
smell
okay.
it. I could smell it right through the envelope. Okay. Okay, you can just
saying
this
that
guy.
they need to put more switch.
I bet it does change.
It might.
I don't see why it should.
Justin?
I've never done that before.
I didn't hear that.
Well, no, I just haven't done that before. Mark
That's a complete
notated it.
Ooh, that was close. I snagged it.
I'm looking at
Take a
it.
minute,
I think
take a
it-
minute.
Oh.
This is,
And this is the new.
Something to new one, 30.
He says you have to sign all online, I guess.
Una.
would be it's a,
Una.
is it Una or
But if there's only, well, you can't tell because I don't think there's anybody on.
Interesting.
No.
So, oh, the notary put everything like in the business section. Looks good.
Very good. Very
Okay.
good.
Okay, this was a missing signature apparently. Is that one?
Yeah, that's the next one.
Yeah, I'll do this.
It's consistent at least.
Somehow that's a little helpful.
Somebody in New York, signing as assistant. It's really strange.
Two still.
Got two more.
That's about, Randy, New York. Hey, Justin,
And this one had a signature, so he got the authorization.
this is strange. Not necessarily wonderful, but anyway. So I didn't know, I got an assistant in New York, and then I got two local witnesses. Do we care about that? Okay, we'll just be that way.
It didn't work.
Oh, so that's one down. Somebody else had the last one.
Steve wanted to sign all these sides.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the hard one.
Yeah, but he's the
When was
one
that
that's been
one
signing the
that's-
lease as witness.
And we're on to another precinct. And
She signed it.
you want me to just,
No, it's okay. She just needed to make sure we weren't missing any, that's all.
okay. We're still on 30. Oh,
Not that we talk.
yeah.
Just got a question.
Okay.
We have this guy that has been signing as a witness here. And then on his wife signed his power of attorney, and you had to get his signature. Doesn't it seem a little odd?
I mean, it is odd. I mean, you can sign for other people.
It's just an odd thing, because you had
We're
to
still
send
on
it back because
30.3.
she signed it. She said POA spouse.
Yeah, but
but-
it doesn't count. That's why we ended up getting that. Yeah, but I don't know why. I mean, it counts for him to sign the other thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, it's kind of strange.
And that's the last 30. Oh, no, we still got some more.
Three more.
Okay.
This might, I guess, he needed to make 10 pieces.
We got this.
That is, that's 40.2 still.
Yes. there's more. And Johnson, second. Say last one and 45.
Okay, clean, no problems.
This is the last one.
Do you think anybody's voting in any other precincts besides this? Like this, besides this one? Yeah. Just
Close to the middle.
there's one, if there's any more.
Yeah, but this is by far the most. Give them here, and then the rest of them is just a few.
Just getting all aggravated.
Driver's license.
Seven. Oh, great copy, but it is a copy. 42.
Justin, we've got another.
This is 41.9. Change of precinct.
We're at 31.1. Here's a precinct.
Wow, okay. It's just a dark photograph, so it's hard. The names are different. No, it's just got Bishop there.
Yes, almost done.
Okay.
This is the last one in that precinct.
Who knows these days?
You need to be more forceful, Mary.
So we got it covered.
We have already started on 41.1.
Yeah, that's fine.
But she's over 60.
Yeah, she was way first.
This is in this middle, right?
Yep, looks that way. Yes.
This is the last 31.
The
Okay.
last one. One's-
Last one. This one's battery.
Okay.
Before that number. Sign it. Okay, you're good.
Oh, Justin?
Another one?
What does that say?
I can't, I'm not even sure what it said.
Oh, they're being political. It says no genocide, Joe. It won't do anything to it, but.
Will it No, well, this-
Different precinct, right. This is first 32.1.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Justin, you finished the precinct.
I guess we got voter intent on that one.
Big, big long one. Let me just make sure that I actually initial.
No, because it's an argument.
That's right, trying to figure out what to do with that.
race, there's no preference anyway, so it wouldn't matter. You just can't put it on the ballot. Well, you are already, I know, it's already.
Here's another precinct, small one.
And this runs up 1207, it's gonna make it through the election. All these people are gonna be out of luck with the second primary, you know?
These look okay.
I don't think they even see that one.
Driver's license.
That's not the last one. No.
Okay.
Make it through the primary. Sure they will. 1830.
Last one, 32.
Okay.
41, something like that, the last, no, still got more, huh?
Current driver's license.
We're not in the field of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New precinct.
Okay.
I think we're switching precincts after this.
Yeah.
Here's a precinct. Yep.
No, it's not.
No, he was saying.
Okay. Got a notary, got the date here, notary's date. September. And
You checked the name.
26 won't matter. And that, no, this is 41 point. So we're starting with precinct.
Swellen Renee Austin. Okay.
Current driver's license.
It goes that way.
Matthew Joseph Stewart.
Yeah, he was over 65.
Let's start a new precinct next week.
Away from the ballots. At least it's closed.
Claire, Alden, Fair.
Looks good.
So what this is preparing us for, is we can be a spell checker and M&M.
This is 33.2.
Yeah, still, we got, just this is the last one.
Okay.
They have some serious inventory shortages.
If I were there.
Last one.
Yeah.
Sophie Evelyn Mills.
Must be distinct.
I didn't have one that was out of whack.
We're starting to see some voter IDs. I think
The
so.
CIV. You haven't had one the CIV found.
No, all of ours are so far.
It's a voter ID.
27, 24. This one's gonna be running out. She might be a image. She's not old enough.
Yeah, here you go, you're right. This Osmond company.
New precinct. Okay.
No, this, well, they had. Textile waste. So, they would get all this crap.
Yeah, leave those two.
Yeah, they had these factories around here that made, parachute pumps. So they had all these pieces of.
And this is the first 35.1. Okay.
So then they take those.
Do what?
It is.
Oh, okay.
And they did really well. No, I started distracting you. That was no problem telling you stories.
Oh, that is.
So,
I thought
okay.
that was 34.
Yeah, let's see.
Missed that.
One
That's
service.
a million, but that's plus. I'll put dollars with that and I don't. Well, it's kind of, I didn't need one.
Yeah.
I know.
We've got another precinct here.
You take that one, I'll keep this one.
And that. Last one in that precinct.
Thanks for the next one.
All right, 26, 25, whatever. All right, we good?
Runs out August, but she wants 144, so. Sure, I got that one in there.
These are 35.1, right? Yeah.
Precinct.
46. Alan?
Getting ready to change again.
Crazy. I'm pretty sure that one fits the bill for staff. Got a bunch of these, don't we?
And we're gonna change it.
Very clean.
And this is mine for the initial.
You can take these are all. Okay. Because we're starting here.
September 24, rated 30. About it.
Good enough for a signature, I guess.
Somebody was satisfied.
Correct driver's license. Passes.
Now we're in 27.
Still with her.
Still good. Okay. Still 35.1, right?
Yes, there's still quite a few more.
Okay.
I bet there's still stacks. I think that's to the end.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh, was it witness and
Sign notary.
These folks are always signing forms like that.
Oh, okay.
Nope. Really close. Does look very clean. Usually those always stand out.
You only thought this would be the last one, 25. Now we're starting. We only have. Okay, and this is another reading. Same date. And we got a seal. So the same can read seal, same guy. What's his notary name? Margaret?
That's all right.
Burgos.
around
There. I see it.
S-E-N.
Not many people have old tiny seals.
Notary.
Good distribution on this thing.
That's hard to see.
have the jury please, that I'm very super fast.
Two 45.
I just want to be efficient. Don't really care if we're super fast or not.
Current driver's license.
That's right. Stephen Anthony's like, this is the last one in Mississippi.
Precinct.
I don't think you're gonna train me on that.
Good job.
Whoa.
All right.
Read the names and the date.
That's all we need.
And there is a picture. It is a photo. It's a very good one, but a photo all the same.
246.
It's the last one in this precinct. Justin, last one in that precinct. Sweet.
Okay, next one is Emily Bryant. Granddaughter of Daniel. Great granddaughter.
6.
Eight, seven.
I should know this, but somebody apparently signed with a POA. That's,
But then they fixed it.
well,
Whose signature is that then? Sobel.
yeah, I guess that's the voter.
Yeah.
And then you've got the POA, POA apparently signed it twice.
Huh.
It's not clear, but.
Unless one was a junior and one was a senior, but
Yeah. Wait, well, I don't know what that's about. I guess that's junior.
That's it.
2061.
yeah.
I mean, I think it's okay.
I think it's okay.
You got a lot of them in this one.
Parents.
This is
So junior is doing it.
POA, yeah. You're okay with that? I mean, that makes one reason now.
Marlon Nicholas.
Signature.
This one different than what we do in the nursing home, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. It was Justin.
One.
Just our-
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. No, it's got a current driver's license. Okay. Yeah, manifest.
This one is precinct.
That, and you got whatever you want to do with that.
Here's a precinct.
That has happened. That has happened. Yeah, they get two different files. And sometimes they turn up the day like that.
It's March. It's good for him. What do you got here?
No, I had that. How did that happen? Yeah, well, it was just one off. That's what I would be thinking.
Justin?
Resolution states that it has to be in the same board meeting, so if it's spoiled and issued another ballot, I hate that, because it's just wrong. We will, we'll let them know. We'll give them that option, we'll say, hey, it got switched. Is this one precinct?
Yes. No, this is not the one. Justin, sorry. X's. I don't know if it'll read it. Let me just stick this together.
Lisa and Mike.
Sign this before I forget.
People can't follow instructions. Of course, if you can't follow them, you don't read them.
1579.
Yeah.
What time do you get up in the morning on election day?
We have to be there like 5:30, 6, something like that.
Yeah.
We don't get out.
Check that.
11.
Nice and clean.
Well, I think he's having quite a lot.
Sidetracked to the.
More like 9. You know, it's all.
Just hold this one to the side.
People are getting over 70. That's it.
I really don't think it's gonna.
No, Brenda said we should probably look at it.
Yeah, I agree.
And we have to be there at 4 o'clock on Monday. So get home probably at 8 or 9.
Were you
I'll put $125 or something.
chief judge or judge?
Yes.
Never.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's in the 8s to make it crazy.
1866. But it's interesting. It's fun. The person that's gonna suffer is my husband, who has our puppy at home all day.
Oh, what kind of dog is it?
Shih Tzu, 6 months old.
A dog or a small dog?
Little bird.
They
She's very cute.
stay small.
He's 12 pounds.
Oh,
It's very clear what she wanted, but it won't read, so.
Vigilant.
Yeah.
well, puppies are challenging.
Nice and clean.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Very challenging. Just new news. I'm not sure it was the smartest thing I could
Yeah, most of the
suggested we do.
ones show up real
Everybody
quick.
sure doesn't enjoy it.
Yeah, they do. Is that that's not a dog to pick up in Humane Society. You have to go to a breeder.
Cuteness factor. My dog-in-law got hers. You know how it goes. Sitting around the table talking Thanksgiving, next thing I know, I'm in the dog.
See, that's the amp set.
And cha-ching, oh my word.
This short-term occupancy, so people are just
Or Justin, like she might want
the history.
We've been without a pet for a few months now. We haven't had a dog for 2 or 3 years, and my wife's talking about it again. But I was the one who had to walk him every day, so, for most days.
Ours doesn't like to walk too much, and I'm a walker, so it's
We do good with our COEs.
a lazy dog.
Clean to me.
They were bred to be lap dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
by the king and China,
Huh.
China. So far, he's not much of a lap dog. You know, would I do it again? I'm not sure. He's still a puppy. He's having a pretty good another body in the house.
Does he chew on everything?
Not terrible. Yeah, he's a biter and a chewer. One of my sons was spending his inheritance on this dog. He said, "I just only had on the inheritance."
Guess that can be an issue.
It was very popular. I don't know what I age. We haven't sort of sit down and thought, okay, what are you gonna do? But my husband's his birthday's election day.
Yeah.
Wow.
This was not.
David Allen.
So cute. 48-1. It's clean.
So that one I'll probably have to re-vote, I guess.
I would think so. I'm sure there's an explanation of how that happened, but I'm not sure.
227. You haven't pretty much reviewed it around here. Out in Cameron, I think.
I'm surprised how well this photo ID thing has gone. It's really gone quite smoothly, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm I don't quite know what the agenda for photo ID was, so I actually need to look. It seems to me that it makes sense.
A lot of, I guess, several states have it.
No, one more.
This one goes in there, and then we're done with that.
See if we check that. That completes your precinct.
Steve, I'm going to pass this down.
John Randolph order.
This should be the requirement. All printers have to be able to make a decent copy of a driver's license. And what's going on, starting in the precinct. Mark.
Make sure I'm not missing anything.
This precinct is Loretta Case and
This one's close.
Juicy.
Take it.
That's all in that precinct. Go.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Like 3.
No, they came out.
yeah, baby cups.
But others came early.
Oh, that one.
Where did they come from?
Oh,
You done?
yep.
Awesome.
Hey, I'd rather be thorough than mess up.
Absolutely. That's my policy there.
We're already ahead of schedule.
Enough room for everybody to sign. Oh, let's wait. This way. If there's no room on the back page, that's where we usually sign them. Yeah, we're signing it.
I have been since before the internet.
this one around. There's gonna have to be duplicated.
One of them's ours, it was a mismatched CIV.
Anything that, nothing matches.
No switch or anything like that as far as we know.
Oh, well.
Well, there was no switch. It was
Yeah.
just a mismatched CIV. How many years have you been working on elections?
Yes, it's gonna be a lot.
It's just a few, just the last couple of elections. I did it probably 20 years ago. and so I did it
Time flies when you're having such a.
Yeah.
But then I did the last two elections.
I went
It
to
can
one of
be.
these training sessions.
At some point you go, oh,
years ago.
what if I?
Sitting next to a woman, and I said, just trying to make conversation, I said, how many years have you been working elections? And she said, something like, I started when my daughter was 13, and now she's 60 or something. I mean, it's just-
She needs some kind of gold star or something.
Yeah, it was her last one, so.
And the Irish, they actually hired fleets.
I've already decided in the fall that I do early voting, not waiting.
All right, implicators, if you want to go back to the table again.
Here we go.
Okay, Kurt, go ahead and pass that.
Okay.
Got them all? Nah, I think you also said maybe 7:30. Mhm.
So these would be the two each. I'll just give the ones.
Yeah, they're gonna have, that, there's no way that can go through.
She said that we had one or two options, but we'll just duplicate it, but you guys gotta confirm that.
Yes.
But
What are the other two?
the two things that we need you guys to vote on are, first, these are the spoiled, they need to be spoiled, because the CIVs don't match the actual envelope.
Yeah, Steve, Sally? Yeah,
Oh, okay,
that's,
so I'm not we got an issue. So, two ballots that the CIV did not match the envelope, so the board just needs to vote to spoil these, and then we will reissue these ballots to these voters.
And we had that other one where the gal initialed it.
That we'll get to that one in a second, but we're gonna do this one first, so if you would make the motion to spoil those two ballots.
Okay, and just to be clear, we have two ballots that have mismatched CIV numbers. And so we are obliged to spoil these, but we will contact the voters first thing tomorrow to let them know about this. And tomorrow being the 28th, what is the option? What are the options for these voters?
They can walk in and get it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, so they already have applied for an absentee ballot.
Yeah, they don't, the deadline for
Good.
requesting doesn't apply. And then we always give them the option to, remind them about early voting and election day too.
Good. Thank you.
So if they've applied for a ballot, are they eligible to get another one?
Yep.
When they
So they just have to,
Because we
have a
spoiled
turnaround. Get there by the 5th.
it'd be the same thing if you were at the polls and you had to spoil a ballot
Right.
for a mistake.
Right, you don't have to do another ATV.
ATV,
You've
right.
already got it. All right. Thank you, Mr. Tate. We do have these two ballots that I believe we should spoil. I would entertain a motion to that effect.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Aceto. The motion before the board is to spoil the two ballots in question, and contact the voters, and tell them their options to get their votes counted. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Tate.
He's got a couple more issues.
All right, Mr. Chairman. Now on to the two ballots that fall under voter intent. If the board would like, one is a ballot checked and then another, well, one race struck through and then another race selected with initials on it. The other is just X's, so we would like to duplicate both of these ballots as long as the board approves that we are allowed to do so.
I'm ready. Well, let's take a look.
All right.
You can start it at either end. I'm indifferent.
So they've just X'd. Just fill in the circles for them. And then for this one, selected that, scratched it out, selected that, and then initialed. Both approve? Okay. Down the line. Said they just X'd. We just like to duplicate. This one they selected, scratched it out, select a different race.
And initialed it.
There you go. And while we're at it, all the other duplications were just ballots that needed to be replicated.
Corn or something.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So if you would like to have the board approve those two.
Let me take a peek.
I do. Yeah. By the way, that's you.
Thank you.
Right.
Oh, we've got one more voter intent one. Let me let them.
Better start on down there.
Start it down there.
It's like this one, selected that one.
So wait, so they wanted, so what do you think the intent was here?
Maria.
Was this the intent and that was a mistake?
Mary Ann, is the issue X's and pencils? Okay.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
Intent is obvious, but they probably won't read. It's not dark enough. Yeah, it's not dark enough to read. Make sure it gets read or duplicated.
So it seemed to me that the bubble.
The other one, she initialed, so
Yeah.
That's really clear.
And the X is what it says.
at least she thought to
The little
initial it.
overvotes.
Yes.
That's the intent, is we need.
If she hadn't initialed it, we wouldn't know who
So do,
made the mark.
does the whole ballot get
And the whole ballot would be duplicated. So is that the intent?
Okay, I agree with this.
All right. So Maria presented this to us, that if we run this ballot as it is, it will be an overvote, but it is clear that this race is what the voter's intent was.
So
we
you're
would
gonna
have to
duplicate
duplicate
it.
it to that.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
All right. So
We
put
are
that
all in accord on all of these,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you. You guys will vote on that. I'll get them started on this.
All right, colleagues, we were presented three ballots where we were asked to ascertain voter intent. In all three cases, staff has flagged what they have determined or what they guess the voter intent to be, and basically, we have confirmed this. I believe we're all in accord. But we need to vote to formalize our discernment of voter intent on this. And so I would like to make a motion that on the 3 ballots that we just approved to ascertain voter intent, that we vote to have these duplicated in the manner indicated by staff on the forms themselves, which you are all welcome to take a look at before the duplication occurs. Any questions about the motion? Because that's a little wordier than I like to make them. The motion before the board, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0.
How does the record show how we interpret the intent? I mean, we're all in agreement, but we agreed to something specific about each ballot.
We did. We did, but rather than name the names of the candidates where there were questions about the manner in which the voter intended to express themselves, what we've done instead is we have indicated on the form with little flags what our determination was of voter intent.
And that goes in the record.
It does, and I'm hoping that everyone will just take a look at these, just to feel confident that,
Yeah, we have.
that the flag indicates exactly what you think it should. Thank you, Mr. Tate.
Yeah, I saw it.
So there's 3.
This one's just all of the X marks.
Oh, yeah, got it.
Set those face down right here.
Y'all are speed demons, you know that, right? I think we have found our absentee ballot processing groove this evening. It will stand us in good stead this autumn.
Is that all of them?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought we had more to go.
I did too. Wow, we are speeding.
Oh, that's the entirety of it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Huh.
So we all thought there were more.
Oh, don't you guys are working?
Yeah, you did twice as many ballots.
So we have dinner,
But we had more people.
Yeah, we
Sally's
did have more
here.
people.
Yeah.
dinner is here.
Well, the MAP team is a good addition because they're familiar with these. They know what they're looking for, which is helpful.
They know those forms called.
Yeah.
They know exactly what to look for because they've helped so many people complete them.
Right.
Man, you really called.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what's this say? This part.
What do you mean when you say ID didn't match?
What's soft?
Every ballot, every absentee ballot has a unique identifier on it. So does the ballot return envelope. It has the same unique ID number. And the ballot with a given number has to be in the envelope with the same number. Every so often, we find instances where there might be multiple members of a household who have requested absentee ballots. And they get them at home and they open them up and they do them. But sometimes they put ballot 1 into ballot 2 and ballot 2 into envelope 1. And so we look to see if those mismatches have occurred. And if they do, we just look for the companion envelope or envelopes so that we can count them. But if we can't find the companion, we are obliged to spoil the ballot, contact the voter, and give them another chance.
I don't know why I did this one, I just.
You're welcome.
Probably, it's just the election day officials.
Oh, okay.
gives us more to kind of go around and try to find places we haven't been to before.
It's election day.
Yeah.
When did that one come out?
Let the duplicators duplicate, y'all.
Less, oh, okay. Shh, shh, shh. Wait, wait.
Have a scapula done.
Okay. This is +8, right? Because the total says 403 plus 18 plus 2, and that doesn't add up to 431. But then you've added 8 up in.
See off the chair and landing on the chair.
Yes. Just checking to make sure my math was right.
It's not a show. I think that's right.
You can get in order, but you can't get into
Cheat sheets. For birthdays
the people that you sleep with.
and expiration dates.
It's just on.
I mean, just basically, this date is a cheat sheet. Because I always go, when I scratch my eyebrows, it means I'm trying to do it in my head.
Throwing my legs over the edge and then I drink this sort of lobster type thing. Get the butt over the edge.
Right.
But then I have to stop and giggle.
Basically, there's a date where if the birth date's here, you don't have to worry about it.
How do you get
So
out?
this date.
Waterbed, if you have a broken collarbone, and that's the question, because you can't get any leverage to do.
Elbows
The elbows don't work. It never occurred to me. That was kind of it for the waterbed.
We did it 2 years ago, bro. 30 years of the waterbed.
Yeah.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Yeah, I loved it too, but gosh, I gave mine up a long time ago.
I can't remember why we gave it up. There was a good reason, but it actually wasn't related to the collarbone disease.
Did you have one with baffles?
Yeah.
It was baffling. I wanted to have one without it.
Yeah, the
Works much better.
one without is the one where you can jump on one side and shoot somebody off the other side.
Oh, yeah, that's great. It's like the flying Miletos.
My children would have no idea what I'm talking about.
What is a baffle?
Oh, the old original waterbeds were just one big bag. And the newer ones came out with divisions in
Oh, they
between.
did, I never saw those.
Yeah. The water there'd be outlets where the water could flow through it, but not just all at one time. So it'd be baffled so it wouldn't.
So was the idea that before you had the baffles, you were just kind of floating around all the time?
Well, it's like just one person could be laying here. If somebody jumped on it here, it could throw you off the other side.
He's not there anymore.
You know, I never got I just never wanted one of those things.
I had one and I hated it. Absolutely hated it.
Didn't have to drain it every so often, or didn't have to drain it every so often?
Well, you don't because it's sealed, but.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean, you fill it up once and it's
sealed, yeah.
it seals?
Yeah.
And you can't kind of open the seal?
Well, no, you can't open the seal because you have to be able to drain it to be able to move it.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that. But
No.
you have to.
Preferably not.
How much do those things cost? How much do those things cost back in the day?
Oh, I don't know. They were cheap back in the day. The original ones, because they were nothing but just a big bag that would hold water.
You know, I never hear about kids getting those things these days.
Like I said, I don't think my children would have any idea what I'm talking about. Of course, there's a lot of things that happened back then that they would have no idea about. You know, it's funny how parents get smarter as kids get older.
Big cultural change is tattoos.
Mm-mm.
When I was a kid or somebody had a tattoo, they were kind of a rough character that you were stay away from.
Now it's kind of, you know, if you don't have one, you're, yeah, I know.
I thought it probably gone mainstream completely when I found out George Shultz had one on his rear end, or thereabouts. Up here, the Secretary of State added it's got to be mainstream.
I kept telling my children, one of these days there's going to be one really ugly senior citizen. Because if you think those tattoos look great now, wait till you get older and you start to wrinkle.
And they start to sag.
Yeah, exactly. But that's my opinion.
It was just chilly in the house, so I backed up to Fran to do the cheek thing, and then Tom, Fran is not here. So whose cheek is that, or what? Yes, who or what is that? And so I was like, turn my head, this is in the water bed, see, so he's all, you know, you can't really. So I turned my head, and I met this Tom coming under the way.
But they're grown, I'm sure. Your children, how old are they now?
Oh, jeez, my youngest just turned 30.
Oh.
And my oldest.
Because that was the one that you.
Oh, that's one we were debating. And my oldest is 34. My oldest is 36.
It's just like sleeping with people, you know. Yeah, and you know, she's like, and she's like waiting for this. You're like, thank you. And, you know.
Yeah, it's just common, you know, when your kids are real young, you know everything. At least they think you do. And then when they get to be just about middle school, you know nothing.
My kid's about to turn 25, but you know, there's a stage they reach where they kind of know how to do a lot of things, but then you find out things you just assumed they would know how to do is shift clothes.
You know, I can tell you a story about
It's sort of
that.
like the early 20s thing.
Well, there's things that as parents, I think all parents do this. My father worked at Union Carbide in Oak Ridge. My father worked at Union Carbide in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And he was an electrician. He went to work in street clothes. I've never been where he works, okay? And your parents assume you know a lot of things you don't, because they know.
Well, so did he get into a uniform when he got to work?
Yeah, they have coveralls.
Yeah.
You know, and they have showers at work. I only saw my father shower once a week for the early years of my life, and finally one day I asked my mother, I don't understand, he only showers once a week, but it doesn't smell. So what's the deal here?
Was he a unionized?
Yeah, it was a union job.
Which was it that? International Brotherhood of
Electrical workers, yeah. And his union, actually, he kept his union here in Asheville. He belonged to the union here before he went over there.
They got a local of the IB.
Yeah, and he stayed with this local.
You mean he retired from, or he moved up here before his retirement?
No, you don't have to move your union membership.
But I mean, he came up here and was working under, in Western North Carolina.
First.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents were from here just like me.
Yeah.
And then when I was 3 years old, my dad went over there to work.
Oak Ridge, yeah.
And it was like, then he retired from over there on medical retirement, but he never made it back over here.
Were those, were the workers at the plants in Oak Ridge, were they all unionized from stem to stern? I mean, the people,
the blue collar
the people,
The blue collar workers would be, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh.
Thank you.
Well, you don't find that, right? The TVA workers were unionized, a lot of them are.
Well, yeah, I remember what we were talking about one day, but somebody mentioned Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge was a very strange community.
You know,
because-
when they probably, back in those days, when they had these government assisted or government developed projects, they would encourage the workers to unionize.
In the very beginning, I doubt that anybody would. Because
At Oak Ridge.
At Oak Ridge, because it started during the war.
Yeah.
And the people over there, by the time we got there, which was after the war, there was still a lot of resentment
Towards Oak
towards
Ridge.
anybody that worked at Oak Ridge, anybody that lived there.
Well, because of
Well, the reason is because the federal government walked into Oak Ridge, into that area, bought up a huge swath of land, put fences and gates around it, built a city.
Colleagues, are you ready for the final motion of your absentee ballot festivities this evening?
Yes.
Because we did review 330 additional ballots. We pulled 2 for mismatched CIVs. And so we have 328 that we are ready to approve if someone would like to make a motion.
So moved.
All righty. There's a motion before the board to approve the 328 civilian absentee ballots that we just removed, noting that we already pulled 2 for mismatched CIVs. All those in favor of approving the 328 ballots, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0. Members of the board still have to sign the envelopes and that sort of thing. But aside from that, is there any more business to come before this board this evening? I will remind everyone that our next meeting is on Monday, March 4th, at 5:30 p.m. 5:30, not 3:30, 5:30 p.m. in this room. And we hope to see you then. But there really isn't any more business for the board to do. We're not ready to adjourn because we have to finish signing documents and that sort of thing. I already did. Monday the 4th, the evening before Election Day.
Thank you.
It's the same one as before.
Okay,
but-
thanks.
I got you, man. Yeah.
You know, I used to, IBW was an interesting union. I used to work for the NLRB out of Tampa. We had this case where we had to go back to Southern California Edison. It's called something different, but it was the, you know, it was a large electric utility for basically, I don't know, LA down to, almost down to San Diego. And they would have a court reporter at every bargaining session, just taking out what people said, because they were that insistent on having bargaining history, you know.
Yeah.
So I'd never seen that before and haven't seen it since. But it was a case where we went back to the bargaining history of It's like 1945 when the first contract. Wow. And it was really interesting to read.
I bet it was.
And they had this was in the 1980s. They've had these records. They've had these archives.
Wow.
You know, when the part came into North Carolina and Tennessee, a lot of people up in Cocktail got very angry at it because they just bought up land and kind of encroached on it.
See, in Oak Ridge, it was even worse than that. They bought up the land. They literally built a city because they built not just the plants, they built all the housing, utilities, and there were gates around it. And all of a sudden, people from all over the world got jobs there at a time when the local people didn't have jobs.
They bring in a bunch of
See, at one point,
specialized workers.
At one point in time, Oak Ridge was part of the Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
And at one point in time, Oak Ridge,
That's where they actually made the plutonium or whatever it was.
well,
going to the bomb.
they had the barrier for uranium enrichment.
Yeah.
And the thing is, all of this was top secret. So nobody in the community knew what they were doing. And nobody in the community could get jobs because they were highly specialized jobs.
Well, my mother almost went to work as a school teacher at Oak Ridge. She went to East Tennessee State and got out with her teaching certificate. And East Tennessee State was called East Tennessee Normal School or something.
Yeah.
And she said she did. I guess I don't know the story. She got scared off. She just didn't want to go there because it was just so weird.
It was at one point in history, Oak Ridge, Tennessee had the highest percentage per capita of PhDs in the nation.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
And I knew most of their kids were screwed up.
Yeah, you know, I knew a kid who grew up in Los Alamos, New Mexico.
Yeah, same thing.
And he was an adopted kid, so his dad was a physicist.
Yes, they were nuclear physicists. Everything.
They were all you know, just real smart kids. But he said, I guess his family was fairly functional, but I think it was. But there were a lot of dysfunctional families.
Yeah, I knew a lot of them.
I don't know why. I wonder why that is.
It's just because the parents are so preoccupied with all the mental pursuit.
Yeah.
That, you know,
just kind of ignore their families.
They just let their kids go, and this was back during the 60s.
Yeah.
All the kids were into drugs, all of them. And most of the drugs were coming out of their mother's medicine caddy, because all the doctors in the area, they thought that every woman that went in and, you know, had a problem was depressed, and so they gave them Quaaludes. I know this because their kids were stealing them out of the medicine cabinets. It was crazy.
So were those kids? So you went to elementary school with a lot of those kids? Or?
No, see, I grew up in Clinton, Tennessee.
Yeah.
If you look at a map, there's a little triangle of Clinton, Oak Ridge, and Knoxville.
Yeah.
So it was like 25 miles or so away. And so I was just with the regular kids. I didn't grow up in Oak Ridge. Now, I could have, because at one point in time, when they finally incorporated the city, they gave all those people that worked at Oak Ridge an opportunity to buy homes there. But my dad didn't. We lived outside the city.
So did a lot of the scientist families live in Clinton, or?
No.
How did you know them? Were you in school with them? Or?
Well, no, I moved into Oak Ridge later.
Oh, I see.
And see, I was probably 19.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I was probably more like 17 when I moved there.
Yeah.
And so I knew them as teenagers. And that's when they were crazy.
Yeah. Well,
that's when they were all crazy. Of course, this was in the 60s, too, so everything was crazy in the 60s.
Yeah, sure was.
But I was telling you about when I asked my mother that question, she said, of course your father showers. And then they told me that my dad would wear street clothes into Union Carbide, and he'd put on, because they were highly unionized, so they had work clothes that they'd get into that were laundered there. when they finished work, they'd shower before they got back into their street clothes. He showered every day before he came home. How am I supposed to know that?
So you didn't grow up sort of suspicious about labor unions. You knew what they were about.
Yeah, but I also grew up seeing the other side of it.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well,
There
I
is-
mean, I
there's
saw my
a-
father go out on strike, you know, for 3 months, and they were trying to get another 14 cents an hour. And they didn't get it, but the union got something they wanted. And so after 3 months, they didn't get that. And if they had gotten it, they couldn't make up the 3 months of time that they lost.
Yeah.
So there's a point where the unions are working for the unions, not for the union
What's the name?
workers.
Well, there's
Oh,
certainly,
yeah, the
there's
common
certainly
cause
institutional
Zoom
interest.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just curious to know what they want everybody to focus on. Because I figure I can do a better job if I know. So that's why
area. I'm hoping for this summer they would make a bit of a comeback. You know, with the strike activity, and the fact
I'm
that
just
strikes
curious.
were fairly successful.
As long as they're not doing anything else, I just find out what people are concerned about. Yeah, they're
Well,
very
the
good.
problem is that if
I'll
companies
see
are
you online
smart,
tomorrow.
they're paying the people these days. I mean, when unions first started, there were huge safety issues. We don't have those anymore because we have laws. We didn't have the laws then. And we got a lot of laws now for people to be treated equally. So they can't offer you as much as they used to be able to. And if the companies are smart and they offer their people, you know, reasonably accommodating salaries and such, you're just paying for something and you're not getting anything.
They were kind of victims of their own success in a lot of ways. But, you know,
In
they-
some ways, and they were also victims of the fact that they lost sight of what they were supposed to be doing. They were supposed to be working for the workers, not just for the power of the union. It's a lot like our government.
It's a trade-off.
Well, it's a lot like our government. You know, they're supposed to be working for us, but when they get up there, many of them get involved in this whole government cabal, you might say, where, you know, they're trading favors to keep their own power, and they're kind of forgetting what the power is supposed to be for. I think the unions forgot that too. But yeah, I grew up in a union family.
What'd your mom do? Did she stay home or work in the home, or did she?
Well, she stayed home when we were younger. She went back to work. I mean, first she went back to work for Avon, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh, you know, going around and
Yeah,
selling Avon
yeah,
products.
she did that for a while, and she did very well until the company. Those companies, unfortunately, what they'll do is they'll let you build up a really nice territory,
Yeah.
and then they'll cut it in half.
No, really. I always
And
wondered
so
about that.
she went back to work at Oak Ridge Hospital.
So would she,
It's a commission.
I mean, would she cold call or kind of have these parties?
They
where
didn't do parties as much back then. It was more.
They do that now, or they used to?
They got into that. At that point in time, basically, a lot of it was referral, and also you do a lot of cold calling in the neighborhood. You know, I'm your neighborhood representative.
So women would, my mom was not a big cosmetics purchaser that I'm aware of, but I mean, back in the 50s, 60s, women would not buy cosmetics at the department store. They would often buy from a Avon representative. I mean, is that
She did quite well.
Yeah.
She did quite well, like I said, until she built up this territory where she had a lot of repeat customers. And then the company said, oh, well, there's so many people there, we need another representative, which basically cuts your profits.
Sure, yeah.
So she quit doing that.
Huh, that's interesting. How long did she do that?
I used to help her bag up the orders. I knew every color that Avon sold in lipstick by looking at it.
What was the big problem? Was it mostly lipstick?
Oh no, it was lipstick, makeup, powder. They actually had some nail polish.
And was it pretty competitively priced with what you might find in the store?
At that time, yeah.
Well, you must have run an old Miller's department store in Knoxville.
The what?
Miller's
thank you,
Apartments.
thank you,
Oh, yeah.
thank you.
Start with 0?
Yeah, I grew
I spent many hours in that place.
He knows what I'm doing.
I moved into Knoxville later. I moved from the Oak Ridge to Knoxville.
Yeah.
It's right here.
That's what I'm looking for. There's the 0 and the other report. Yes, that is a flash drive.
That's wonderful. They like it.
That's not a stick of chewing gum, it's a flash drive.
So this is not, the muffler isn't going to stop us, it's a vibration.
Trust but verify.
Thank you. Yeah, we're taping. Can't tape it anymore.
True. That was good advice. It's on the way. I was going, but we decided to go to Grape, so it was gonna be one of the other.
I had been to all of them, but I hadn't voted yet. Because I was doing other things. And by the way, I'm just curious, what, is there any more discussion about Reynoldsville?
You got the duplicated ballots and the big pile of them.
Well, yeah, I know this, we got a contract for early voting, but not for election day. Right?
That's correct.
We do have for election day? Okay. Where is sufficiency?
You didn't hope so. Well, we vote you're gonna kill it for the USDA, but what else is there?
Election day.
Oh, election day, oh, I'm sorry.
You're like election, the election.
My bad.
Yes, I'm talking about the general. I know we're using it through fifth.
Yeah, we don't.
Is it an election day precinct for the primary? Where is that precinct?
The closest one is actually Woodland Hills, 7144.
Do we still have St. Genevieve?
Do we still have what?
St. Genevieve.
St. Eugene's is up
Oh,
there.
that's what I mean.
St. Eugene's is 5.1.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that would be, that's like right next to 7.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I know the problem with International Library, but Reynoldsville has issues also. So.
It's terrible. In a word, nobody wants it. And the workers don't like it because they were freezing their butts off. There was no heat.
Well, when I went in there, they were going.
They don't like it. They don't like it. I don't like when they do it, but
Well, that particular spot.
even when we were right next to the baby pie company, everybody was voting about cookie. That was wonderful, but even that was just way inconvenient. Fascinated by your description of the Anderson County Road voting center. I'm wondering, I'm thinking, we have all the parking, it's easy to get to, it's not down there.
Yeah, exactly.
So where would, like one of the old malls or something, even that's inconvenient, because like you said, Anderson's right off Anderson.
Right. It would almost have to be something like out at the outlet mall if they had any space. And I doubt it. I had to go out there.
The precinct is 70.1.
St. Eugene's.
What's it?
Oh, the community. No. I've been there, I know how I'm trying to place it. Yeah, I went there during municipal, wasn't that one during the municipal? Yeah, I went there during the municipal. I just don't know how I'm gonna manage to get to all 80. Somehow I just don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, no, but they're not there now. I was thinking, well, let's see, if they set up one day, I could go to them as they're setting up to see where they are.
80 is, that would just be a very interesting marathon to run in your park, to hit all 80, and to see if you could do it between 6:30 a.m. and 7:30 p.m. I know what it was like. I used to be one of the guys who put up candidate signs the night before, and I'd get assigned 20 precincts.
Thanks.
And,
Yeah.
you know, when you're driving all over Fairview in the dark,
Have it.
thank you, sir.
We are done. Oh, this is another musician.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, is there any more business to come before the Board of Elections this evening? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned at 6:34 p.m. Thank you. And dinner is served in the kitchen.
We already ate it, sorry.
Hey,
There's plenty more.
there were 19 different boxes back there. And thank you for tuning in virtually, those of you who are still out there.